document source lists the participants of the deal who may contribute to gathering documents. To keep things simple, you can choose broker from the drop list as the individual responsible to satisfy all the required documents and conditions. For this deal, let's set our underwriting conditions that we know about. Anything we miss, we can add later. In the top section, we have audit documents. These are mandatory documents required by your brokerage. For example, the customer consent form, creditor insurance indemnification, and if there's another specific form, you can add a custom field, select broker, and enter the name of the document that you required. For a condition on here that you do not want to list, select an empty space on the drop list, and when we click Save, this condition will be removed from the list. Let's go down to lender commitment. For now, we'll keep these conditions in there. For example, commitment letter, that's required. The pre-authorized debit may or may not be required. Void check, lawyer information. These default we'll keep in here for now. In income, we know our customer is a salary employee. Therefore, we're going to ask for an employment letter. So I'm going to pick broker. Again, to keep things simple, we'll just pick broker as the person responsible for gathering the docs, and current pay statement. And notice on the side here we have loan notes. If I need to address the customer's employment status and income, I can include those notes here. These will be the underwriting notes that I can capture, cut and paste into my FileLogix notes section. So let me gather these notes, type in these notes. I'll just paste these ones here to save time. So here I have addressed this applicant's employment tenured with the company, and I'm going to add another note to address the income. Information that normally you would have gathered through the customer interview process. Okay. There's no other conditions required for a T4 employee. With this particular one, I did address the fact that total income is by way of 2-year tax return confirmation. So let me expand this here so that you can see the entire note. That his income is $70,000, but of course he receives $10,000 bonus, and therefore we're using an $80,000 income that we need to confirm. So what I can do here now is add another condition and say that we need his tax return notice of assessment for 2011 and 2012. Now this notice of assessment gets captured in my conditions list. Let's go down our list. This does not apply because he's a salary employee, so the self-employed, rental income if he has rental properties, but for our sample example here, let's assume he does not. And debts to be cleared out. If he doesn't have anything to address on debts, we can leave that out. For down payment, if he has funds in his bank account, we'll say money at his RBC account, and we'll need 3-month statements for that. And he's using investments as well from his Edward Jones account. For subject property, we know we need our purchase agreement and the multiple listing service list sheet. You may or may not require a full appraisal, so for now we'll leave it out, but if we require it, we will add this later as well. Next section is the current mortgage property details information. If there's nothing to address here, we can leave that blank. Same thing with credit history, anything to address from his credit report, and identification section. Now we can save. And here is our conditions list. If I expand this and expand all condition, you now have established all your required conditions for this deal, including those notes that we addressed for his employment and his pay. And you can see in notes, you can edit the notes, or you can add more notes to this. You can see that this note is unchecked for internal comment. That means it will get captured in my loan notes package, which I can then cut and paste into FileLogic's notes section. If there's a note that I do not want captured in the deal notes for submission, I can always check internal and those notes will not be captured. So in this example, we can say hello and mark internal, and it will not be captured. As you can see, the notes only needs to be entered once. From there on, it could be used and as a way to communicate to other people touching the file what was said about that condition. So it's a great way to keep everything in one location.